Years before he discovered Anakin Skywalker on Tatooine, Qui Gon was a true visionary. Age of Republic Qui Gon tells us that the Jedi Master had trouble with the Jedi Order even before it was really discovered to have been corrupted and have problems. However, this vision that Qui Gon sees definitely connects with Order 66 and the arrival of Darth Vader, although it is still not made clear to Qui Gon just yet. By reading the comic, we see that Qui Gon has been conflicted for a while about the role of the Jedi and what has contributed to their slow downfall. He discusses this with Yoda, who wanted to guide Qui-Gon, but alas, the Jedi Master knew that if he wanted to seek out the truth, only the Force would show him the way as he entered his fighter, jumped into lightspeed, and let the road take him wherever the Force willed. It was a bold move, but Qui-Gon believed in the Force so much so that without a shred of a doubt, he kept his eyes closed, and at the very last moment, the path was now finished. He had come to the end of the road, a greenish-blue planet, as mysterious as it was beautiful. Qui-Gon knew it was charted long ago, but it was considered not important. There were no signals of technology, but had an abundance of life. If you want to find out which planet it really is, then stick around, we'll talk about it more later in the video. Qui-Gon needed to find out why the Force brought him here as he was walking and admiring its beauty. Suddenly, he felt something. Something felt wrong and cold. There was beauty, but darkness as well. Darkness is spreading, but was he brought here to stop it or to learn from it? The Force was strong with this place, no doubt. The dark side had constructed a throne which Qui-Gon was overlooking the entire thing in awe. Again, he proceeded with whatever the Force showed in front. Speaking with the living Force itself, Qui-Gon sat on the dark throne. Even in darkness, he might find the light. At that moment, something overcame Qui-Gon. He was transported into a different world. Qui-Gon was baffled. Suddenly, creatures of darkness spawned and approached the Jedi Master as he ignited his blade and slashed them all to pieces. Those corpses, however, transformed into dead Jedi. Qui-Gon had killed his fellow Jedi, as slowly but surely the same darkness started to infect him more and more until he woke up. A vision. Qui-Gon couldn't make sense of it, but then he realized that the branches of light had made its way to the dark throne. It was a balance. The message was clear. If the Jedi went unchecked, one day they will become that which they are fighting against. This, of course, left Qui-Gon a bit puzzled at the time. Decades later, there was nothing puzzling about the Empire and Darth Vader. Together with Palpatine, they had wiped out the Jedi and enslaved the galaxy. But for those of you who missed an episode a couple of days ago that I posted here on the channel, Qui-Gon did make it through to Darth Vader, at least as a disembodied voice. And this is what happened quickly for those who missed that episode. This led to a serious undermining of Vader, where Palpatine tried to replace him with Silo's enforcers, who were technological aberrations according to Vader, an excess of technology, and how Silo celebrated that. He adored the advancements in augmentation and experimentations, having created multiple Darth Vader replacements and even some clones of himself. One of his creations, though, was Commander Carbon, who was similarly built to Vader, almost completely mechanical and cybernetic. Carbon was adamant to finding Luke Skywalker, but more so defeating Lord Vader, who was his biggest obstacle from becoming Sidious's right-hand man. This is why Carbon eventually ends up dueling Vader on Vroga's Vase. As they fight inside a cave, Vader starts hearing voices. They in fact were his former masters, both Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Anakin, I've encountered a vergence in the Force. He is the chosen one. He will bring balance.
Be mindful of your thoughts. They'll betray you. You have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
voices from the past. But Vader didn't have the time to think this through, as Carbon was slowly coming for him. And while Carbon did battle Vader as hard as he could, of course, in the end, he proved to be no match for Darth Vader, chosen by Sidious himself to be a Dark Lord of the Sith. I mentioned this because what happens next is Vader getting the upper hand on Sidious, sorta. Remember when I told you that during this time Vader was humiliated? Palpatine relentlessly made a fool out of him, even putting Tage in charge of Vader. Well, now it was Vader's time to get revenge in a way. At that time, Palpatine and Silo were searching for Commander Carbon. Well, Vader had brought his master something. A tribute, perhaps, says Palpatine. Vader told Palpatine that he knows he was searching for Commander Carbon. Well, he has found him, as the scraps and ashes of the mechanical Carbon plumped to the floor. Sidious stood there, wide-eyed. He was completely speechless. Now, Sidious was slowly noticing the body. Were those lightsaber wounds? Asked Palpatine. Vader told Sidious that this happened because he wanted to prove himself, that he is still worthy. He challenged Sidious and asked of his master to give him a fight worthy of his time. All in all, Qui Gon remains to be my favorite Jedi, and who is yours? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next episode, and may the Force be with you until then.